Hello and welcome to Finance of Axel. Today we will talk about Fantom and I will try to figure out if it's a hidden gem or just another shitcoin trying to be the next Ethereum killer. Currently, Fantom is trading at very heavy discounts compared to its all-time highs, and we will try to figure out if it's worth investing. Keep in mind that I am not a financial advisor. I can barely manage my own finances, let alone yours. Fantom was built by the Fantom Foundation, which is registered in the Cayman Islands, where current CEO is Michael Kong. They raised about 40 million in various ICO rounds in 2018, and in December of 2019, finally their mainnet went live. The original founder, An Bün Ik, no idea if I pronounce that right, has a PhD in computer science and is also a starter of multiple successful startups. Unfortunately, he left and is not associated with the Fantom Foundation anymore. The same is true for almost the complete original team. Another key figure that left recently is the Defi guru Henry Cronje, who also is the creator of Yearn Finance, and he used to work full-time for Fantom in the beginning. Among other things, he helped to implement the peer-reviewed distributed ledger technology called DEC. Andre quitting caused price to tank heavily, and later in the bear market it got hit more and more, declining about 90% from its all-time high. Fantom has a novel consensus mechanism. It's using directed acyclic graph or DEC instead of a blockchain, so Fantom is actually not a blockchain. In a DEC, you don't have a chain of blocks like in a blockchain. Here, nodes gossip back and forth until they reach consensus about the status of the chain. This distributed ledger technology uses a so-called asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance mechanism. Fantom calls it consensus mechanism Lachesis. Also not sure if I pronounced that right. All connected computers process transactions in parallel. This is different to a blockchain where a single block producer, be it a miner or a validator, usually produces one block at a time. Each node gossips his information to nodes that are near. These nodes then continue to gossip this to another set of random nodes and so on. This information spreads this way through the entire network. Unlike for normal rumors, mechanisms are in place to prevent information from conflict or overlap or being altered during transmission. These mechanisms really are very complex and outside the scope of this video. But to be frankly, this mechanism is robust and works fine, as Fantom is up and running for 1.5 years already, and the mechanism is based on a peer-reviewed, highly mathematical scientific paper with almost 50 pages of content. Unfortunately, the consensus is less secure than other consensus mechanisms. It only requires 1/3 of the network participants to act malicious to corrupt the network. This isn't as bad as it sounds, as you need 500k FTM in order to become a validator, and more important, a maximum validator size is set at 15x the self-stake, making an attack very expensive at least. Unfortunately, the Fantom network is less decentral than I would like it to be. It's having only 69 active validators at the time of recording, making an attack possible. This is especially true because a few of these nodes are very big ones. To earn staking rewards, you don't necessarily need to be a validator. You can delegate your Fantom to a validator of your choice instead. Delegation has way less requirements than running a node. Only one FTM is needed to delegate and earn rewards. These range from 4% from stake as you go, with your liquidity not being locked up, to 15% when you lock your coins for an entire year. But choose your validator wisely, as delegators will also be punished to the full degree if the validator of choice behaves malicious. I also got some good news for DeFi guys. On Fantom, you can even put your stake coins to work, as they offer liquid staking. Unlike on other platforms, you can do DeFi and staking at the same time. This is a quote from the Fantom website. Sorry for reading this from my screen. Fantom is a high-performance, scalable, EVM compatible and secure smart contract platform. Fantom's mainnet deployment, Fantom Opera, is built on Fantom's consensus mechanism. Lachesis, again, not sure if I pronounce it correct. Fantom is a leaderless, asynchronous and Byzantine fault-tolerant layer 1 blockchain protocol. Lachesis enables Fantom to deliver fast transaction speeds, low transaction costs, and deterministic finality. This is achieved while remaining permissionless, decentralized, and open source. So it basically has all the buzzwords we love to hear. Although, let's put this into perspective. Unfortunately, the decentralization is not as great as claimed with only 69 validators. In terms of security, it's also a bit less secure than its competitors. Allow me to make some remarks on the low transaction cost as well. These are low, but they are still way higher than promised. But let's look into it from the positive side. Higher transaction costs also mean higher adoption. At least the DAG is very fast and allowing up to 4.5k transactions per second. EVM compatibility is great because this means that developer can deploy and run Ethereum dApps on Fantom. So if you are a developer or a protocol running on Ethereum, you can just copy paste the code and launch on Fantom. This is very good news for porting over popular apps. That's why popular dApps like Curve and Sushi are also on Fantom and not only on Ethereum. Let's talk about the token utility of FTM. First, it can be used for governance. All decisions regarding the network are carried out by the on-chain governance. Second, by staking coins, you also help to secure the network and receive staking rewards in return. Third, it's also used to pay for network fees. And fourth, last but not least, you can also use FTM in all the various DeFi protocols on the network. Let's also discuss Fantom's unique branding. Like it or hate it, but most things are ghost schemed and they have this spooky atmosphere. I personally don't think that it helps the brand, but let me know what you think about the branding choice. I'm not a marketing guy and my opinion here is surely not worth much. Let's now continue to discuss the arguments for and against Fantom so that you can weigh them for yourself and decide whether this is a good investment or not. A problem with Fantom is that it might rely too heavily on DeFi and that the exit of Andre Cromier might have hit it harder than they are admitting. True, there are some other apps on Fantom too. Some games and some NFT projects are building on the protocol, but most of it still consists of DeFi. I would love to see a more diverse ecosystem. Fantom also lacks decentralization with only 69 validators, of which a few dominate the network. We need to mention in favor of Fantom that it is undervalued a lot when comparing it to other chains using some popular metrics. The market cap to TVL or total value locked ratio is pointing at a severe undervaluation. Most other networks have way bigger ratios than Fantom, but keep in mind that these chains also might have other interesting projects outside of DeFi justifying the higher multiple. If we take a look into the average TVL lost in the last couple of months, Fantom also is not looking great. It's losing way more than most of the other protocols, if you look into it percentage-wise. While all protocols together only lost about 55% of TVL from the peak, Fantom lost astonishing 83%. This is also partly because of the way harder decline of the Fantom coin, but still way worse than on other chains. Other on-chain metrics look convincing though. Daily transactions seem to stabilize after a sharp drop in September of 2021. The number of unique addresses is also on a steady growth path. Worrying are the high fees lately, but this is also due to market turmoil and I wouldn't be too worried about this. Very annoying and inconvenient from a user perspective is if you use MetaMask, you will have to learn some new skills at these turbulent times if you want to make transactions. Because even if you choose high transaction fees in your MetaMask will always underestimate the required fee by many multiples, resulting in your transaction being stuck. In order to get around it, you will have to check the Fantom gas tracker and adjust the GEVI manually. Also ignoring all the warnings from MetaMask that you are massively overpaying for your transaction. I hope the Fantom developers know about this issue and will find a way to fix this very soon, as it's annoying as hell and also very time consuming, especially if you have to make tons of DeFi transactions. This might even cause Fantom to lose many not so tech savvy users if they can't find a workaround and think that the tech is broken or non-functional. Another issue is if you can't get transactions through in time of turmoil, you could even get liquidated because of that. This almost happened to me too. Lately, they also broke their promise of super cheap transactions. You can facilitate transactions at fractions of a cent is a quote from the Fantom Foundation. Transactions are way more expensive than that though, but still way cheaper than on Ethereum. Compared to other blockchains, they are also still doing okayish, maybe even fine in terms of transaction cost. For users, it is very convenient that Fantom is compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine, or short EVM compatible, meaning that you can use MetaMask and don't need to install or get a new wallet. For developers, this is even more important as they can easily transit from Ether to Fantom or write code in Solidity, the Ethereum smart contract coding language. In terms of developer incentivization, Fantom has a massive incentive program to get software engineers working on the Fantom chain by rewarding tokens to them depending on the success of the protocol. This, unfortunately, to my knowledge, also strengthens the one-sidedness of the protocol because the money is paid based on TVL metric, so they attract even more DeFi. I found a bit of a red flag on the Fantom team page. No Twitter or LinkedIn links are provided, and the images are also not clickable, and if you want to find out more about these dudes, you will have to make a way more time-consuming research on your own. I assume that these guys are legit, but why are they not giving more details? I hope they will update their site soon and make it more easy to gather information about their team. It's also worrying that some of the key figures quit a while ago or recently. At least they got no anonymous people in their team, which always is a warning sign. I also hate that the supposedly best team members quit. It feels like Fantom falls behind their competition in terms of strength of a team, especially since Andre Cromier left. Let's talk again about Andre briefly. Andre is obsessed with tech. He seems to be an absolute perfectionist, and Andre might have been the driving force behind many of the smart features and innovations. Now that he has moved on, Fantom might not be able to continue at the speed it used to progress. Another warning sign is that they got no roadmap or milestones on their homepage. They are still building, but potential investors or hodlers want to be able to get up to speed quick with the recent developments. This currently is not possible. I don't want to have to browse Twitter and Telegram and listen to interviews with team members to find out what they are currently working on. For fuck's sake, put it on your homepage. This would not only please your investors, but would also be in your own interest, unless you have something to hide. In addition to the missing roadmap or milestones, their homepage is not well maintained and updated. I, for example, found outdated circulating supply numbers on it. I also can't find which VCs or venture capitalists are investing into them on their homepage. This also belongs there. If you got any institutional backing, you should mention that on your homepage. It's stupid not to mention it or have it hidden somewhere. This is because I know many people who are either too lazy or too dumb to do their own proper research, and that's why they just look into the supposedly smart venture capitalists and they assume it's safe to invest if these guys are in. After doing some digging, it seems like no major VCs are backing Fantom. This definitely is also not the best sign for the project. Looking at the tokenomics of Fantom, we don't have to fear an enormous inflation as the total supply is 3.175 billion FTM, of which 2.5 billion are already circulating according to CoinGecko. The rest will be given out as staking rewards in the coming years. But there is an elephant in the room. The remaining non-circulating supply will be distributed within the next 1.5 years. Afterwards, it will be hard to incentivize validators unless a solution is found. I am fearful that all these solutions are not great. They could keep the incentives up by increasing the fees substantially or by removing the max supply. Both are not great for the ecosystem and the price action. Fantom definitely faces a lot of headwind from, first, the competition like AVAX, BNB, and Ethereum. Second, the team seems weaker compared to other protocols. And third, they also have some transparency issues. For example, as already mentioned, they got incomplete team profiles on their website, and they also lack a roadmap. The last point can definitely easily be fixed, and Fantom still has serious potential if, first, the remaining team can deliver and face and solve the current issues. Second, we should not forget that Fantom's price declined way more than that of their competitors, although they got novel and good tech. The direct acyclic graph is fast and transactions are comparably cheap. Third, and if we look at some key metrics like TVL divided market cap, Fantom seems way undervalued. So I cannot come to a definite conclusion yet. Neither the pros nor the cons overweight, in my opinion. And yeah, I will not buy the dip yet. I might if the price goes down even further. But I will also not sell my tokens. I'm still hodling. If you got additional things to add, please let me know and maybe then I can make up my mind. What do you think after hearing all the pros and cons? Will you invest in Fantom or are you not convinced? Maybe you are also a hodler like I am, and maybe you also lost a ton of money compared to the price you got in. Maybe you even panic sold yet. Let me know in the comments. This was it for today. If you got something out of it, please share this content with someone who might also benefit. Please like for the YouTube algorithm. Please also consider to subscribe with bell notifications on in order to not miss any of my future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.